doesn't love a success story? Well, today we have 3 of them in our studio today. West Michigan residents who've made a huge decision that literally has changed their lives. We've, of course, met Dr. Paul Kemeter, Medical Director of the St. Mary's Bariatric Surgery Program before, and today he's brought in 3 of his success stories. And Dr. Kemeter, I want to start out with you because there's been some really great publicity this week surrounding the overall medical impact. I mean, you guys look fantastic, and we know there's a great appearance benefit, but the medical impact of having this weight loss surgery.
Yeah, there actually were 2 articles that came out in the New England Journal of Medicine, and they both were looking at the effect of weight loss surgery on the treatment of diabetes, and they were pretty remarkable, and I think that's why there's such a buzz going on. You and I talked a little bit beforehand. This is actually not new news, but the fact that the New England Journal of Medicine picked it up is what's made it so kind of right out there for the public to see it. But the studies were, there were 2 separate ones. One followed patients for a year, another one followed patients for 2 years, and at 2 years out, if you looked at patients who just had medical treatment for their diabetes, there was no remission rate with that. But if you looked at patients who have actually had weight loss surgery, in particular patients who had a duodenal switch, they had 95% remission rate at 2 years, so it's pretty exciting.
Which is incredible, especially when you consider the impact of diabetes and your overall health and all the complications and risks that can come along with that. Well, our guests today do include Roderick and Amy Collins, your husband and wife. And Roderick, you were actually having some health issues which sort of led you to Dr. Kemeter. Tell us about your...
I unexpectedly had a stroke in 2008.
Wow.
After that stroke, they looked for medically your brain, make sure that's okay. My liver got affected, my kidneys were affected, and the doctor says you got probably less than a year.
Yet less than a year to live.
If I didn't lose the weight.
Wow.
So I did a crash course, got all the testing in with Dr. Kemeter, and within probably what takes normally 4 to 6 months, we did in 6 weeks.
Wow.
And we went through the surgery and it went all there. So that's what we're doing.
And this is you beforehand, and
correct.
It really is just remarkable. How much weight have you lost, and then you and Amy together?
Right now I'm at just over about 270 pounds.
Wow.
These are the wedding pants that I got married in.
When you have been married 6 years.
Yep, 6 years. So this is the wedding pants that I got away. So if you can see, they can fit both of us, no problem. I can hide her up. So, but it's been a fantastic journey, and together we lost just over 500 pounds.
Which is incredible. And for you, Amy, weight was something that you had always struggled with your whole life. What finally did lead you to make the decision to do the surgery?
Well, I mean, I've done Weight Watchers. I've done every diet program you can think of. I'd have periods of success, but then just life happens, and I couldn't stick with it. And when he had his surgery, I was afraid for him to have surgery. I was, you know, any kind of surgery. It was scary to me. But when his health got so bad, I said, if you really want to have it and you feel in your heart this is what you want to do, I'll be supportive. And then he started losing all this weight, and I'm like, if he can stick to it and he can follow the program and he can do what he's supposed to be, I can do it. And I'm losing 1 pound a week, you know, struggling, starving myself, and he's losing like crazy. And I went to a seminar November 12th, and within less than a month I had my surgery.
That is really amazing. Kelly Walker, you also have a similar success story. What led you to the surgery?
What led me to the surgery was, like she said, Amy said, we had the roller coaster ride, tried every diet, would lose, gain it back. And then I lost my brother 2 years ago, very healthy, and I just looked at Dr. Kemeter and I said, it's time.
Well, it's almost hard to believe this is the same person here. How much weight have you lost?
I started out at 320 and I'm down to 150.
That's amazing. And
these are my old scrubs.
2 of you could fit into that. And Kelly, you actually work with people who are considering going through this process, and then especially to the follow-up, helping to support people after the surgery is complete. Tell us about the work you do with people.
I'm a PCA at St. Mary's at Fort Lax, and I work with bariatric and with oncology.
She was actually my nurse.
Oh, okay.
That's the joke we have.
Which is wonderful, because you know you walk now the same path as your patients have.
Yes.
Dr. Kemeter, the results that they've seen, are they pretty typical of what you see?
Yeah, actually they are, but realize again, we've given them a tool, and they've taken that tool and they use it. And so when you hear their success stories, it's because they put a lot of hard work into it. and Kelly was telling me beforehand she's training for an Iron Woman marathon or Iron.
I'm doing a triathlon.
Oh, triathlon. I'm sorry.
That's incredible.
And you know, Kelly's a great resource at St. Mary's, because having had the surgery, when she goes in to talk with patients, they're going to listen to her, because she's actually walked the walk that they're going through themselves. And it's kind of our own, support group starting right there in the post-op period. So it's very helpful.
That's an important part, I would think, because this has to be an emotional journey. Certainly it's a physical journey that you go through, but I'm guessing the emotions that come up as you go through this process are something that may be unexpected.
It takes you back a lot of ways. Some things that I used to do that I stopped doing for years, I can do again. And I think the biggest thing Dr. Kimmerer said was it's a tool. And support is key. I mean, I have my wife, people at work. Mary, where I work at in Benton, she comes in and she says, "Did you eat this morning?" Because if I don't get my protein, I get wore down, and she's on me more than my wife. So it's like, you need that support, and it's not a quick fix. Every day you go through so many different things, so many different trials. My work schedule, I'm about a 14-hour day, and I need everyone helping me, or you can fall right back and relapse. And that's the key.
Well, and what do you hear from the patients as they get ready, especially to make the decision to have the surgery? Is there usually some kind of a tipping point that most people experience?
Yeah, I think what I've experienced when the patients come in is, how do you do this every day? They were worried about falling off, getting their protein in, and like Dr. Kimmerer said, he gave us a tool. We use it. We work every day. We work hard at it. We work out, get our protein in, our vitamins. We know
vitamins.
Yes, we know what we need to do to make it work.
Right, you want your bodies to stay healthy, obviously,
right,
because you've been given this really almost a second chance. You have some great seminars coming up, and I heard you talk about the fact that you'd gone to these seminars. Tell people what they can expect to learn, or what information you're going to share at the seminars.
At the very first step is to come to a seminar, and the reason for that is every patient here had a duodenal switch, but we have 4 surgeries, as we've talked about in the past, and we go over the goods and the bads of each of those operations. So what we want are people to come in and get information and learn as much as they possibly can, and then after they hear that, if they want to proceed, then we go forward with that. But the seminars are free. We do that intentionally. We think information is key. Patients are exploring this, to get as much information as they can, so we try to provide that to them. And then and that's the main thing, is come in, learn as much as you can, and then leave hopefully as informed as you possibly can be.
And we really appreciate the fact that you are our expert when it comes to this topic, so that our viewers can go onto our website, link through to yours, get this great information. And it sounds like you really become partners with the people who go through this surgery.
Yeah, I think it's a good support group that we have going on in the hospital, as well as, after the patients have their surgeries. If I have them as a patient, they'll ask me, what can I do? Did you experience this? And it's a really good hand-in-hand.
Yeah, because there's so many different things. For example, I used to love milk. It took me about 1.5 years before I could start drinking milk after the surgery, where she didn't have as many complications. So it's just, each surgery, each person is different. I think that's the key, is you have to build yourself back up to where you need to be.
Well, fantastic. Dr. Kimmerer, thank you so much for bringing these great success stories. And if you're interested in maybe making that life-changing decision, head to one of those seminars. It could change your life.
Great. Thank you, and congratulations again on the 20th anniversary.
Thank you very much.
Happy anniversary.
We'll be right back.
Are you Wes?